Hearthstone is a good game that is completely triumphed by the executives that don't understand how to make a good game, because all they want is money. It's Blizzard used to be a company that makes good games and the money would follow. Now they're like, we need as much money as possible, and that's what our entire basis is on now. So like it's if you look like over the last 6 years of Hearthstone, what is the biggest thing they've done is Battlegrounds. Why was Battlegrounds so successful? Battlegrounds was a tavern brawl they made with absolutely no idea how much money it had. Now they're having the reverse situation. How to monetize this game? Because people love it. Why do they love it? Because somebody made a good idea with no money.
Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again with another positive Hearthstone video where the Rarran situation to borrow, we're just stealing, from Moist Critical is absolutely crazy. At least on the Hearthstone subreddit, where that clip that I hopefully was able to put in the intro and censor some of the profanities that I would never ever say all the time on my Twitch streams, by Rarran with his frustrations towards not the dev team on the Hearthstone team, which I keep basically harping on. It's not the devs issue right now. Sounding very kind of Zeddy-esque, and especially in our video yesterday about the arena, his frustrations towards the upper management, the main directors and people making the core decisions of Hearthstone, and how out of touch it is with Hearthstone gamers, how much it is kind of destroying the game that we love, and just, we're gonna go a bit more into it, because when Rarran speaks, we listen, right? I don't know, it used to be when Kibler speaks, we listen, but I kind of disagreed on his last video a little bit, but regardless, we'll listen to Kibler. Kibler's still pretty darn badass, and yeah, we're gonna go into this about Rarran because it echoes a lot of what I've been saying, and it echoes a lot of what other creators are saying, either publicly or behind the scenes. I can assure you, because there's just a lot of worry and not even a little, a ton of frustration over the direction of the game. But you know what people aren't frustrated with? Well, although maybe they are frustrated with the giveaway intro, so let's speed through it. It's our giveaway for 3 rewards tracks out of my pocket to add to that giveaway. Like it, comment to the video, link down description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel. If we manage to hit 1,000 subs by next Tuesday, I'll add another rewards track to that giveaway, so hit that sub button, maybe go broke. I did a little bit faster, I don't know, is that 2x speed good enough? Anyways, yeah, so that clip where Rarran went over saying that Blizzard used to make games to be good, and if they made money, that was great. That goes for like almost every game in the games industry. We have seen, at least at like the major studio level, they just don't give a damn about making a good game most of the time. It's just about pumping it out. One of the only exceptions is Nintendo. Although they're charging $80 for Mario Kart, they typically will wait, right? Could you imagine Activision waiting over 10 years to do their next Call of Duty like they did Mario Kart? Mario Kart would be like an annual thing in every other gaming company, right? They would milk the crap out of it. Regardless, this Reddit thread blew up, over 1,400 upvotes as we were recording this. I was actually live on Rarran's stream when this got posted, and he's just like, what are they doing? What's going on? But yeah, the reaction to it's pretty crazy, and I wanted to go over just some general reactions from the community, because I think your guys' voices matter, not just this fat idiot. He mentioned that he's completely burned out from playing Hearthstone since beta, but feels because no other content than Hearthstone content gets enough views to finance his team employees that rely on his income. And I will say, I'm friends with Rarran. I have been talking behind the scenes with him well before he blew up on YouTube, well before he was a mercenaries YouTuber. Yes, he was a mercenaries YouTuber. And I remember when that happened, he was very excited because he thought it was his out to get away from constructed Hearthstone. He was sick of it then. That's before, that's around 2020. So you can imagine, we're 2025 now. Yeah, he might be a little bit burnt out, but there's been good parts during that, like Sunken City, that whole year was phenomenal. And then a certain director left Hearthstone and things have gone absolute hell. And we will be talking about that because the direction of the game is what I fear the most. I think we still have an incredible dev team. I still think we have very passionate people I talk to. I see behind the scenes I can't share stuff, but believe me, there's frustrations everywhere, not just with players, not just with people on Reddit, everywhere. And speaking of that, we have Clark Hellscream, who is a content creator, said, I cannot tell you how incredibly furious it makes me to see this completely short-sighted business model plague not just Hearthstone and Blizzard, but the entire gaming industry. Rarran really said it best in this clip. Blizzard used to be a company that would make good games, then money would follow. It completely sickens me. Most companies would rather do everything in their power to do the least amount of effort to extract the most amount of money in short time instead of creating a quality game that could continue to meet expectations, generating massive passive income. But these investors, executives aren't here for the long term. They're just here to make their money and leave. And everything just feels like it's all about, you got to up that 2%. And if that means laying off 9,000 people, that's fine. Who cares? Long term, there might be problems, but if we went up 2% this quarter, our stock price went up, we're richer. That's all that matters. And that's been the trend for quite some time. That's a whole other debate for another day. But we're seeing that all the time with Blizzard now, right? Warcraft Rumble wasn't making money, to cut it. But honestly, that game was made to make money. It wasn't made to be good. It was made to make money. I'll just note, they said in the press release, I think I'll put it there, that it was a passion project for 9 years. How long ago do you think the game it copied came out? Like Clash Royale or Rumble, whatever it's called, 9 years. They saw that, then wanted to copy it, right? That's it, because it made a lot of money. And it wasn't a great game. It's a game to try and make money, and we'll try and make it good in the meantime, right? That's kind of the idea. The same thing goes for Hearthstone modes. We've seen that, right? Duels was made with monetization more in mind than the mode itself, right? It was really expensive to try and get in there. They paywalled heroes and treasures, all sorts of stuff, and made it inaccessible. That was on top of needing to have the entire WoW collection. Hearthstone Mercenaries, again, was just made to make money. It was no passion behind it. It was just like another mobile game thrown into a Hearthstone, which wasn't a mobile game. I'll remind you, Hearthstone itself, when it launched, was not playable on phones. I believe it was on tablet, but not on phones. It was primarily a desktop game, believe it or not, a PC game. And then, of course, right, we had Twist, which was launched kind of with barely any effort. And again, that one felt like there might have been more spirit behind it. But by the time it came out, we switched directors, and the whole vision of that mode changed to the point where it's not really in the game, right? There is no vision for the mode. There's no direction for the mode. We have still not heard about Twist in, what is it now? Over 6 months. We're actually, I think we're almost at 7 months now since they last told us they'll update us soon on it. That's how long it's been. And the last new original season of Twist was last June. The last actual season of Twist, which was a rerun, which there was 4 in a row, was back in March, I believe. So again, no vision, no direction, just maybe this will make money. But I feel like, again, the old leadership kind of had an idea, but they're gone. And yeah, that's kind of an issue. And I saw one person post here on the Reddit, just kind of an idea of why this is like this, where here's Blizzard's history in a nutshell. They were owned themselves, right? They were owned by Davidson and Associates in 94 to 96, left to their owned by Cuck International, as I say, I don't know, 96, 97. They were just kind of left to their own. They were off in their little chair, if you know what I mean. They were owned by Zeddy in 97, 98, left to their owned by Vivendi from 98 to 08, so 10 years left to their own. Everything went to hell when they merged with Activision, although Hearthstone came out during that merger, and I'm going to say that's a good thing, right? Or I'm here. No longer left on their own, and now owned by Microsoft, and things have gotten, I'd say have gotten way worse with Microsoft. I'm not even going to lie. Bobby Kotick was awful. I feel like what's happened with Microsoft since has been even worse. And yeah, it's a sum, both greatest and worst days of Blizzard were in merge with Activision. There are some good stuff in there. It's crazy to see. And yeah, I just liked how by the way, we'll get into more about the leadership and stuff, but I like the Hearthstone subreddit. Anyone else finding watching Rarran a bit depressing nowadays? I think if you watch almost every Hearthstone content creator, I always get why are you still playing? Why are you so miserable? Why don't you just quit? First off, it's my job. Not everybody loves their job all the time. Second, I'm losing, so I'm miserable. Even in Hearthstone, you're gonna be miserable when you're losing half the time. It's just the way it is, right? But anyways, yeah, when you're burnt out, when you're frustrated, that happens. And there was even this photo of Rarran long ranting about Blizzard and Hearthstone to fall asleep to. You better not steal my thing. That's what I do, is complain. But the one time Rarran complains, it blows up the subreddit. And I complain. It's that guy never stops complaining. But hey, that's That's what we do. But yeah, I saw all this stuff and it really made me think about the lack of communication and direction the game is currently under, right? If you're not aware of why there's so much problems, right? It's this, like the pet, they recently are introducing this thing where if you watch your prior videos on it, it's going to cost $158 to get, unless you get lucky gambling in this gotcha wheel, which we will fully demonstrate when it launches. And I have heard some things about bells and whistles and misleading, like, oh, I'm gonna win it, oh, they took it away, why don't you try and roll? It's going to be bad if it's what I understand it's going to be. It's going to be worse than what we all fear, and already it's $158. That's, as you get worse than that, I think it could. Again, we'll be reviewing that courtesy of Blizzard, so thank you guys for that. But yeah, there's that. There's also the underground arena, which we talked about yesterday, which made me at the end of the video rant in a very similar manner about the direction and the leadership of the game, where they've added gambling with that crowd's favor to the arena again, basically taking advantage of compulsive gambling, which is what mobile games love to do. But again, I said in yesterday's video, Hearthstone has existed for 11 years, has a dedicated player base. Good luck trying to recondition that player base to all of a sudden to start wanting to gamble instead of getting the things they've gotten for 11 years. It's probably not going to work unless you attract a whole brand new player base into your 11-year-old game just to gamble. It's probably not going to be so successful, but that's currently the MO of the leadership team. And I just tweeted this out, and this is believe factual, that Tyler Beelman, who I believe is the Hearthstone director, has been in charge for 2 years, 4 months. First, did you know that was his name? Probably not. Second, I said has been director of Hearthstone in over 2 years. He has not made a public appearance, only one time, which was this video back 7 months ago, the Warcraft 30th anniversary direct, just a puff piece of like what's coming. It was the expansions and the awesome arena revamp that nobody asked for, but they made so that they can implement gambling mechanics and horrible rewards. That's already been changed once, still isn't good enough, but that's the only time I'm aware where he was like publicly like demonstrated outside of like, there's an interview we'll talk about. It's pretty funny to look at. That's it, right? And most, like I said, most players don't know what his name, don't know what his personality is like, or if he even plays Hearthstone. Why is he always absent for every controversy he is behind? Because he's the leader, right? He's the game director. He's the one leading the troops. These are effectively his decisions, right? If he's the director. Guy posted there, he had an interview. I guess this Eric Switzer guy talked about staying behind the scenes in their interview. Stated this: when I started, I spoke with the marketing team, the PR team, and with Nathan Linesmith, the executive producer, and asked, how can I be best of service to the game? We could try me being that sort of forward face like that, or we can give other people more opportunities, but we really haven't had other people really, you know, moving up. I guess we see Cora in like the reveal video. She does a great job. Beelman explains, ultimately the decision we collectively came to was we didn't think having a single face was necessarily in the interest of the game or the brand. Like that answer, because I think that the game is for all of us, and I don't think tying it to one personality is necessarily what's right for Hearthstone at this point, which again is totally fine, but it's like, can we hear from you once in a while? Like, because there's been so many issues. It's not even, you know, we have the recent arena thing and, you know, the recent pets thing, but last year was the quest. Like, I argue last year was the worst year ever in Hearthstone. It was brutal. Whether it was the early access card, whether it was the event, the quest, shutting down duels, all these really garbage, underhanded things, and they've been stepping it up to make it worse this year. Kudos to them. The card design, I don't think is that bad. I've actually liked the step back in like the power level of the game. We're really working and doing different stuff. But in terms of like, you know, being able to play the game, having resources, they're taking more and more away while giving us more and more packs than ever. Expansion reveal season, we've actually gotten more free stuff than ever, but they've taken more gold away than ever. It's a weird back and forth removing agency and rewards from the game. But yeah, it's not communicated well, and I just want to point out, this is absolutely brutal. It's asked about Twist, and it was stated, the new Twist format introduced in May is a big part of that process where they're looking to find that next big thing. Oh my goodness. That Twist is an event-based mode where the devs could try stuff without committing to an entire new game mode that may or may not be successful. I guess they just stopped trying. They stopped trying over a year ago. I don't want to add another thing into your day-to-day play. They certainly did do that, right? Beelman says, if we ask you to come look at this thing, it's because we think it's cool and probably secretly we're looking to learn something. These kinds of calculated experiments, along with over investing in the parts of Hearthstone that are already successful, are where the team will put their efforts moving forward. We just don't see that, right? This interview was from last summer, wasn't that long ago, and it's ironic that it was actually in August where he's saying they're still like basically hinting they're going to try new things. Since that published date in August, again, we haven't seen a new season of Twist, not one. We've only seen reruns and down seasons, so it's pretty crazy to me. I also did like somebody pointing out in the Hearthstone subreddit, because I've been enjoying the early access brawl. They nuked it, Paladin was the fun from this Brawlazeeb is proof how easy it is to make Twist work. The title sums this up. The Tavern Brawl was supposed to be more hidden with UI, yet it wasn't. It was advertised actually unlike Twist. All the Tavern Brawl did was limit sets and was fun despite heavy restriction on participation, 300 gold and craft cards. So at the end of the day, you could just see like a mass just confusion and direction with the game, very predatory direction in the game, and more this game is treated like it's a mobile game. And if you know the history with a lot of the people now in charge of the direction of the game, their backgrounds are in mobile gaming and monetization mechanisms to extract as much income as possible, and that's the point of Hearthstone we're at now. Instead of making the game better, they're just looking at adding more basically monetization models first and foremost, then they look afterwards, right? Like with the arena update, I guarantee you it was originally conceptualized as we're going to change how we monetize this because it's not making money. We have this idea in mind with gambling with crowd's favor. We're going to make that. We want you to make a updated arena for us to make this incentivize people, and the talented devs did that with redrafting and all that stuff, and then it's destroyed by this monetization system. Same thing likely goes for pet. We want to sell a new cosmetic and we want to introduce this new gambling gotcha mechanic to get this cosmetic. Can you guys make this? And then we will package it in this monetization system. So the talented devs make the pets, and then they implement this terrible monetization system to try and extract the money. That has been the trend for a while now, and it just shows, and people don't buy it. They haven't bought it with mercenaries, with the way duels was set up, even though the mode was good. Tish Tabrak and that whole team did a phenomenal job with it, but it didn't matter because people couldn't play it. The only mode, like Rarran said, that has ever succeeded that they've made since Hearthstone itself was Battlegrounds, because they just wanted to make a fun tavern brawl. It was really cool. They put it out there. It blew up. It was awesome. And they haven't figured out a good way to monetize it since, which I assure you is the only thing the executives ever talk about with that mode, how much it probably upsets them that it's still in the client and taking resources on their dev team when they're not making money off of it. I assure you, the second they can come up with a way to monetize it through pure gacha gambling means, they'll take that shot. They will take it. They already tried a little bit earlier with the whole hammer thing. That didn't work, which is almost the basis for the pets. And if Hearthstone stops making money with its packs, they'll add it to Hearthstone 2. We know they will, or they'll make a Hearthstone 2 with a new monetization system, just like Overwatch, which, hey, that's another Blizzard thing that's been going on, and it's just terrifying. And that's why people like Rarran, like myself, and other creators are just fed up, scared, because this is our livelihood, and worry about the future of the game, the development team on the game, or, you know, community managers like Ridiculous Hat that don't get their contract renewed because it's just not a priority. We got to push out pets for $160 rather than having one of the most beloved community managers ever who communicates with everybody. We can't do that because it's just not a priority. We'll get to it if we get to it, right? That's basically what it feels like, because they haven't said a damn thing. So there you go. The Rarran situation allows me to vent even more about this. Hopefully get some voices out there for creators, and feel free to share whatever you want to share. The comments a bit more rambly, not super organized, but hey, I don't know. I just got to get it out there. And I always feel like the off the cuff, off the chest Zeddy is typically the better way to go. So there you go. Anyways, tune in tomorrow. We're gonna have an expansion guide on the Lost City of Un'Goro, everything to prepare for it, and then we'll be off to the races as, yeah, July 8th coming up pretty quick. That expansion launch comes. Oh yeah, with that stupid cosmetic pet. Again, everything gets dampered by this garbage. Anyways, enjoy the video. Please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.